Everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. This is episode number 51. We have such a great show for you this week. I cannot wait to get started. In fact, let's get right into it. We're going to start by talking about the Dallas Cowboys because I'm not surprised about what happened last week. So the Rams beat the Cowboys at SoFi Stadium, the first game there. No fans. It was a little different. But, as I was telling people that I was hanging out watching the game with, guys, don't be surprised if Dallas loses this game, because that's what the Cowboys are. They, you expect so much from them, and then they just drop the ball. And of course, the Cowboys lost to the Rams, as I said. And really, this has a lot to do as far as I'm concerned, it has a lot to do with Dak Prescott. And you can't put it all on Dak Prescott, but that is a lot of this loss is on him. He had all these wide receivers. He has CeeDee Lamb. He has Mark Cooper. He has Michael Gallup. He has Zeke. He has Blake Jarvis as tight end. He has a lot of talent on that roster. And yet, for some awful reason, the Cowboys, Dak just couldn't put it together. I don't understand it. And this is one of those games, when it comes to Dak, where it's like, you want this big contract, right, Dak? You can play like this. You can't lead your team to a victory like you couldn't on last Sunday. You're not getting that big contract. And that's one of these games. Now again, you can't put all the blame on him, but he's the leader of the team. He has to be the one that steps up, and he didn't. And as of right now, the Cowboys are L2 in the face. I mean, they have to face the Falcons this week, who have 10 first-rounders on their offense alone. So if Dak struggles against Atlanta this week, and if the Cowboys lose and they're 0-2, I don't see Dak getting that big contract at all. I really don't think at all. Like, he's just not going to get it. I just feel like this is... we can say the same thing about Cleveland this week. They beat the Bengals last night. If the Cowboys lose to the Falcons, it might be it. Like, this is it for Dak. He starts 0-2. He's not going to get that big contract. He'll be on his way out of Dallas come the end of the year. So watch out, Dak. Really hoping for a big game for you this week. Alright, let's switch gears to Russell Wilson, because God Almighty, everybody knows that Russell Wilson has to be the most underrated player in the NFL. He's underappreciated. He has no O-line. He has B receivers, DK Metcalf and whoever else he has. But the thing is with Russell Wilson is no MVP awards. That's a big thing for him. He has not received a single MVP vote in his 8 years in the NFL, and yet all the guy does is win football games. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to another. Well, should have won the second one, but we'll talk about that another story for another time. And then here we go again. Here comes the classic Russell Wilson doing what he does once again. 4 touchdown passes against the Falcons week 1, and a big win. One of them being on a 4th and 5. I really like that one. That was a good one. We have to give Russell Wilson much more credit than he gets. I mean, come on, good Lord Almighty. And I think I'm going to be the first one to say this. If Russell Wilson wins another division this year, if he wins a playoff game, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, you got to put him in the conversation for the GOAT, right? That's what I would say. Even if it's another 5 years and wins a couple more championships, I'm thinking about putting Russell Wilson in the greatest of all time conversation. As of right now, I think he's one of the greatest of all time. But 5 years down the road, he could win 3 more championships in the next 5 years. Who knows? He has the capability to do so, obviously. With what he's done, with what he has, it's incredible, and people still don't give him as much credit as he really deserves. And so, hell, I am going to be the first one to say it. If Russell Wilson continues to play like this and he wins a couple more championships in his career, I'm willing to put him in the topic of the greatest of all time. And I might be the only one saying this, but really, he absolutely deserves to be in that conversation, because all he does is win, no matter what he has around him. He has not lost a step in 8 years. He has been the same guy for 8 years in the league. Has not lost a step. He's made the playoffs, I think, every year. Might have missed one time, but just about every year he makes the playoffs. And we are not giving him the credit he deserves. So if Russell Wilson, if he does it again, if he wins another playoff game, whatever, or he wins another torch, or maybe 2 or 3 championships, I'm putting him in the greatest of all time conversation. And there's no question about it. I just don't get it. I don't get why we don't give him the credit he deserves. No MVP votes? Good God Almighty, something's wrong. Really, something is wrong here. Alright, so let's get to other notes and topics from week 1 real quick. I'm not overreacting to the Patriots win of the Dolphins. I know I said that I was putting money on that game. I did not put money on the game. But I did really think the Dolphins were going to pull off the upset. Of course they didn't. But everyone's talking, oh, Cam Newton has such a great game. He was such a great quarterback in that game. Well, he wasn't. Cam Newton did not throw a touchdown. He ran for 2 short ones. Let's calm down, okay? Who knows what they're going to do going forward. I think this week they lose to Seattle on Sunday night. It's going to be a crapshoot. Well, maybe not a crapshoot, but Cam Newton, let's calm down. I mean, you guys are overreacting about him. He is so good. He did so well. It's one game. It's the Dolphins. They're still sort of rebuilding. They're still not this talented team everyone thinks they are. Let's take it easy on Cam Newton and the Patriots. Also, take it easy on Tom Brady's debut. He threw 2 picks, one being a pick 6 from Malcolm Jenkins, and everyone's like, oh, Brady got such a bad game. And even Bruce Arians was commenting, oh, boy, he was so bad, and he needs to get better. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. The Bucs, I knew were going to struggle at least the first game. They might struggle next week against Carolina, but I have them winning that game. It's a chemistry thing. Brady's on a new team for the first time in 20 years. He has to give chemistry with his wide receivers. That one pick, the first pick he threw, that was on Mike Evans. Mike Evans misread or did something wrong, obviously. That's on Mike Evans. Let's stop blaming Tom Brady for that pick. And then the other pick, that pick 6 by Malcolm Jenkins, that was all Malcolm Jenkins. He jumped in front of the receiver and picked the ball off. That had nothing to do with a poor throw by Tom Brady or anything like that. So again, let's all calm down. I think it's ridiculous that we're criticizing Tom Brady when really that Saints defense is one of the best in the NFL, and they showed it on Sunday. So that's another thing. Take it easy. The Brady and the Patriots, Brady and the Bucs, will be fine. They will be fine. They will bounce back and win this week in Carolina, and everyone will be like, "Oh, okay, Brady's good. Yeah, he's still Brady." Oh boy, the Eagles! My oh my, the Eagles lost to the Washington football team. That offensive line, obviously atrocious. They gave up 8 sacks on Carson Wentz, and again, Ryan Kerrigan. What a game by him, what a game by Chase Young, and the entire defense. I've been saying the defense is going to be good, and they showed it on Sunday. 8 sacks on Carson Wentz. They overcame a 17-0 deficit, 27 consecutive points to win the game. I could bash Carson Wentz, but really, it is kind of, the offensive line didn't have anything and whatever. But still, he is the leader of that team. I said the same with Dak. He's the leader of the team. You got to help your team win the game. Carson Wentz, leader of the team, blew a 17-point lead and lost to a team with no name. So, I like to poke a little fun at Carson Wentz because my friends, they all think I'm anti-Carson Wentz. I'm not. I thought he was he's one of the best quarterbacks in college at North Dakota State. He's still talented at Philadelphia, whatever. But 17-0 lead, you got to hold on to that. You can't let it go like that. Packers Vikings, got to give credit to Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Devontae Adams, and then their second receiver, whose name I do not remember. He had a great game as well. And really, I think that while I do have to give credit to Aaron Rodgers, I also think this has more to do with the Vikings defense. And I thought, they lost 5 guys on defense, including Xavier Rhodes and Danielle Hunter, both gone. I thought they rebuilt in the draft. They'll be fine. I was wrong. Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns. He looked like Aaron Rodgers. Credit to him. Vikings have things to work on, obviously, and I guess I'll say I was wrong about them. That defense is really bad. So, credit to Aaron Rodgers, though. He had a hell of a game, and I was very impressed. I really like what I saw out of him in Minnesota. Gardner Minshew, what a game by him, right? 12 for 13 with 3 touchdown passes. They upset the Colts. Everyone's talking about tank for Trevor. And I heard something else on a podcast I used to be on. Losing for Lawrence. That's good too. The Jaguars so far not tanking or losing for Trevor Lawrence. Gardner Minshew said this before the season. Oh, we are looking to kick you-know-whats. And they're doing that. They've done that so far. I mean, look what they did week 1. 1 incompletion by Gardner Minshew. 3 touchdown passes. Hell of a performance. And a great job by the Jaguars getting a win week 1. We go to Monday Night Football. The Giants and the Steelers. The Giants' 19-play drive ended in an interception. That was very disappointing. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings watching that game, and I was like, oh, come on. You have to end this drive with a touchdown. But credit to the Steelers, really. That was absolutely excellent performance by the Steelers all game long. Big Ben threw 3 touchdowns. Obviously, Bud Dupree had a good game. He was the one that caused the Cameron Hayward interception. That 19-play drive ended in interception. It was all credit to the Steelers all game long, just on fire, and they beat the Giants. By the way, held Saquon Barkley to 6 rushing yards. 6. That is a great performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Derrick Henry, still Derrick Henry, proving why he earned a big contract. I'm so glad they gave it to him. 100 yards rushing in the game against the Broncos in a win. Stephen Gostkowski did miss 3 field goals, or 2 field goals and an extra point, but he redeemed himself with the kick to win the game with 17 seconds left. So props to him. Very good stuff from Stephen Gostkowski. I like that he sort of took credit, or whatever the case is. He missed the 2 field goals, missed the extra point, and then he went and sat by himself. So it kind of worked out for him. I don't want to say it kind of worked out for him, but he was upset with himself. He took credit for it, whatever. Props to him. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. We already know that. He's won 3 Super Bowls. He was clutch, and he was key in the Super Bowl 43 win over the Rams. Just not key. Well, he was key in the win for Denver, but he needs to do better. Anyway, so that's that. Alright, let's switch to the NBA, because this is very, very interesting stuff here in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets are in the NBA Finals, and people are going to think I'm crazy when I say this. They are a real threat to the Lakers. A real threat to the Lakers. Here's why. In the first series, Denver overcame a 3-1 deficit. They beat the more talented Jazz team. They beat them. I was like, wow, they really did it. Okay, props to them. I thought that the Jazz were a much more talented team. I thought they would be able to beat them easily. Nope. Alright, so they go on to play the Clippers. Oh, God, no, the Clippers, that was a big choke. This is the biggest choke I've ever seen in watching NBA. I've been watching NBA for several years now. How do you have a 3-1 lead? This is no discredit to the Nuggets. You have a 3-1 lead. You have a double-digit lead in games 5, 6, and 7. And you lose them all. That says more. I don't know if that says more about the Clippers or more about the Nuggets. I'm going to say it says more about the Nuggets, because they did it against the Jazz. Remember Game 6? Jamal Murray had that really big game to force the Game 7. And then he was crying outside of not a locker room, the hallway. That was a key moment for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, he's having, again, a great series, had a great series against the Clippers. And now they'll face the Lakers, who, by the way, here's what I'm talking about, the Nuggets having the advantage over the Lakers. Lakers lost 1-5. They beat a Damian Lillardless Blazers team. And then they went and they won 5 against the Houston team, who always loses in the second round. This was just a crappier performance by the Rockets when it came to shooting and everything. Now, I'm not saying that the Nuggets are going to upset the Lakers, but this is going to be a hell of... If it is the same thing we saw against the Jazz and against the Clippers, the Nuggets are going to make a great series against the Lakers, and I would not be surprised if they pulled off the upset. I'm not saying they're going to. I don't think they're going to. But if they do, I will not be surprised at all. I'm just saying. Speaking with the NBA, the Heat is on. God. I mean, the Heat are up 2-0 against the Celtics. It's crazy. The Heat are 10-1 in the postseason this year. 10-1. They swept the Pacers, who had T.J. Warren, a very talented guy. They got they pretty much had the Pacers coach fired. And then they just beat the number 1 seed Bucks and the MVP Giannis in 5 games. Now, obviously, I could sit here and argue about LeBron should have won the MVP, but it's a regular season award, and Giannis earned it when it comes to the regular season. Postseason, if we were a postseason award, well, you already know LeBron was going to win it. But it's a regular season award. The Bucks finished with the best record in the league. Giannis had a great season. Again, congrats to him. But they're out, and the Heat is on. I'm hoping the Celtics come back. They're down 2-0 right now. Make this a series, but we'll see. I'm really hoping that the Celtics can make a series out of this, because this is too talented of a Boston team. Just sit there and let the Heat override them like they have the first 2 games. It's too talented of a team. Alright, it's been a really good show. Actually, this is actually take 2 of the show, because the first time we did our show, it was such a good show, our first episode. And then I realized this piece right here in my headset was not plugged in all the way, and therefore the audio did not come out. Hopefully the audio comes out this time. Alright, the final topic of the episode, SCU Sizzling 7, week number 1. Let's get to it. Number 7, we have the Bears. Yes, the Bears. Now, I keep saying how Mr. Trubisky should not have started week 1. I think that Nick Foles. Trubisky kind of shut me up, though. And, he threw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They overcame a 17-point deficit. Yes, it was against the Lions, but you cannot discredit them for who they're playing. DeAndre Swift, obviously, the drop touchdown pass with 6 seconds left. Could have won the game for Detroit, but it didn't. So you have to give props to Chicago, winning their first win in the style they did, overcome a 17-point lead. Deficit. Mr. Trubisky throws 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Bears, number 7. Number 6, Raiders. Hell of a game for their first game in Las Vegas, even though the game was in Carolina against the Panthers. They really outdone themselves. I mean, Derek Carr had a impressive outing. Josh Jacobs, he's proven to be a star himself. 3 touchdown rushes in the game. And the Raiders upset the Panthers 34-30. Of course, you can sort of blame Matt Rule. You can sort of blame Matt Rule for that because he should have ran with Christian McCaffrey on the 4th and 1 instead of used the fullback. But either way, the Raiders get the much-needed win. So they are number 6 on the SCU Sizzling 7. Number 5 is Pittsburgh. Again, Pittsburgh, another impressive team, kind of like the Bears. I didn't have them make the playoffs. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs, but after that first performance against the Giants, the interception after a 19-play drive, touchdowns, 3 touchdowns for Big Ben. It was just, again, an all-around great performance by the Steelers, and they are number 5 on the SCU Sizzling 7. Number 4, the defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs had a great game against Houston, but they kind of gave up, points in garbage time. And that's why they're number that, and there's 3 other better teams than them, and that's why they're number 4. Number 3, the Saints. The Saints are a Super Bowl contending team, had a great defense, obviously picked off Brady twice, including the pick 6 from Malcolm Jenkins. Let's not blame Brady for any of it. That was a hell of a defense. And obviously Drew Brees is still there. Michael Thomas had a great game. Emmanuel Sanders, I said on an earlier show, Emmanuel Sanders is going to be a good big-time receiver. Yeah, so Saints, a very talented team, number 3. Number 2, Green Bay. I have to give it to Green Bay. Again, a lot of it was about Minnesota's defense being crappy. However, you do have to give credit to Aaron Rodgers. 4 touchdown passes. 2 to his number 1 receiver, Devontae Adams. Yeah, their second receiver, whose name I still don't remember, had another great outing. So really, Green Bay had a great game under Matt LaFleur, and they're sort of looking like the same team we saw last year. They went 13-3 last year. They're kind of looking like it's only one game, of course, can't overreact, but they're looking pretty damn good so far. Green Bay, number 2, and number 1, can you even argue it? It's Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his teammates are saying that he looked better in this game against Cleveland than he did last year. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I've been hoping for Lamar Jackson. He, 36 touchdowns last year. Argued that he needs to do better. So far, so good. He threw 3 touchdowns in the opener win against Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland. I know everybody's going, they beat Cleveland. Who cares? Cleveland has a talented roster. You see what they did last night against Cincinnati? They won 35-30. Baker threw a couple touchdowns. It was a very impressive outing by Cleveland. That just shows that Baltimore is a really good team because they held Cleveland to just 6 points on offense. They dominated them the whole game. And Lamar Jackson looks like MVP form once again. 3 touchdowns in a win. Baltimore number 1 on the SCU Sizzling 7. And with that, we are done. I'm hoping the audio works this time. We will see. This has been a really good show. Congratulations to Giannis. Good luck to the Nuggets and Lakers kickoff tonight, the Western Conference Finals. Good luck to the Lightning, by the way. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. The Lightning, after finishing with the best record in the NHL history last year and getting swept in the first round, that really pissed me off. That really bothered me. I was like, how do you do that? How do you get the best record ever and they get swept in the first round? I just thought it was a really crappy performance last year. But the Lightning have redeemed themselves. They are now in the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2015. And so good luck to the Lightning. I have them beating the Dallas Stars in 5 games. I think the Lightning are just a better team. They showed it last year. They showed it this year. And Dallas had a couple overtime games they had to get through to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been episode number 51 of the SCU Show.